Well, I was looking around to see what kinds of upcoming events there are in my area, and there's going to be in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, a Pride in the Park event day, June 11th. It fits well with my purple shirt, I think, here. And I thought, well, let me see, they're asking for donations. Um, I wanted to see who the sponsors were for this. There's Color Kindness Chalk Art Challenge. That sounds really fun. Say Pride photo booth. There's, I don't know what this is. It's got black flag. Is that Antifa maybe? I don't know. LGBTQIA plus. Pretty soon they're going to run out of letters. They're going to have to start using Hebrew letters maybe, or Greek. This is yard games, board games, bubble wands. I was looking at these performers too. You've got, different people, apparently local performers, but look at this. Drag performer, drag performer, drag performer, drag performer. It's like, wow. 10 a.m. though, if you come, opening and LGBTQ plus affirming prayer. There's an affirming prayer by Miss Shannon. And if you stick around all the way to the afternoon, there's a drag dance party, community village, artisan market. Oh, here we go. Okay. Participating vendors, groups, and supporters. Okay, so I was looking at this. I was Calvary Lutheran Church. Community United Methodist Church. Community of the Holy Spirit, Ecumenical Catholic Communion. Wow, so this is a Christian event. Let's continue. Are there any others that are reflect a spiritual worldview here? St. Luke's Episcopal Church. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? The Satanic Temple, Idaho. Huh. Oh, I guess the Satanists are joining with the Christians to promote this family event here. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Oh, I can donate, I can volunteer, and I can contact. Boy, this is really, really something. And it got me looking. I wanted to see where else the lady who's doing the prayer here, Miss Shannon, I found her on the Spokane annual Interfaith Pride Worship Service. So I was reading along here, and this is, some stuff that maybe I could learn from. It says those of several faiths and denominations will meet and tell members of the LGBTQ, well, apparently they forgot some of their alphabets, community they are loved and welcome. Jan Shannon, organizer of the event, said the service was made to re-invite people of faith back after having been kicked out of their religious organization. Oh, okay. Too many LGBTQ people were kicked out of religious organizations. Too many were. Or made to feel unwelcome and unclean. So I created this worship service as a way of extending a welcoming hand to those who were pushed out of a church. So too many were kicked out of a church. I wonder if she means they were kicked out. Like, what if there was just 3 that were kicked out? Was it like, what was the number when did it become too much? Yeah, churches are just kicking out too many of these people. Aside from being pushed out of Christian churches, Shannon said, LGBTQ have been pushed out of unaffirming Jewish synagogues and Buddhism. So they've been kicked out of Jewish synagogues, they've been kicked out of Buddhism. Wow. From the beginning, the organizers wanted to be as inclusive of all faith traditions as possible, said Ven Thubten Honyi, or Chonyi. Oh, she's a Buddhist monkess then, Buddhist monk. Wow, this is really interesting. Congregations that have been involved with the service every year include United Church of Christ, Presbyterian, Methodist, Lutheran, Disciples of Christ, Episcopalian churches, rabbis from local Jewish congregations, and Buddhist speakers from both Japanese and Tibetan traditions have been involved. Buddhist speakers. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know speakers were a role or an office within Buddhism. Spirituality seems to be an intrinsic aspect of being human. Very loosely defined, it is a sense of connection with or to something larger than ourselves. Yeah, I can see that. And we see countless expressions of spirituality throughout human history in a variety of religions and philosophies. Yeah, like I'm, some come to mind are like in ancient Canaan, where they, offered their children to Moloch. We can see the religions of Mesoamerica offering human sacrifice. They all were very defined in a way that they were connecting to something larger than themselves. Yeah. I'm just kind of skimming here. This is interesting. During the service, the clergy of different faiths and denominations stand up and say they recognize their goodness, the depth of their kind hearts, and celebrate the expression of their faith. For people of theistic religions, okay. So remember, not like the Buddhists don't believe that there is such thing as a God. So you can believe in God or not, it's okay. For people of theistic religions, she added, this also means acknowledging that the LGBTQ are created in the image of God, just like everyone else. Okay, so this is so funny because the Buddhist lady is going to say she's going to insist she's not made in the image of God because she doesn't believe in that there's a God. But they're affirming, they're recognizing rather, not just affirming, they're recognizing their goodness and the depth of their kind hearts, and they celebrate the expression of their faith. Wow. These affirming clergy desperately want the LGBTQ community to know, to really hear their hearts, that they are loved by God, by the Spirit, by whatever higher authority there might be, Shannon said. So Shannon, she's the gay Christian minister. Interesting. So she says that these clergy desperately want the LGBTQ community to know, to really hear their hearts, that they are loved by God, or that they are loved by the Spirit, or by whatever higher authority there might be. So how would what is that messaging? You are loved by God, or you're loved by the God of the Bible, or you are loved by the God of the Quran, or you are loved by, there is no God, but you are loved by whatever higher authority. So you imagine your own higher authority, and then you're just really feeling, really hear, really know. We desperately want you to know that you're loved by the God that you create. And this is a gentle way to re-enter a faith-based experience without having to set foot in a church. Wow. Also, when Christian clergy offer communion after the close of the service, there are often tears of joy and disbelief by those who haven't been offered since coming out, because they are receiving community, quote, while standing in their truth as a gay person or trans person or bisexual person. Shannon said this is the reaction. This reaction is what keeps the clergy coming back every year to offer it again. So they do this once a year. They have a worship service, and this is the messaging. So the picture here is you stand in your truth, whatever you are, LGBTQ, AS plus, whatever those other ones were. You stand in that truth. and that you stand in your truth, and know that in your truth you are loved. You are affirmed as you are. And we have a whole bunch of churches on board that are supporting this. I mean, just go to the list of vendors and supporters for the Coeur d'Alene Pride in the Park Day. Community United Methodist Church, Calvary Lutheran Church, Community of the Holy Spirit, Ecumenical Catholic Communion. You've got St. Luke's Episcopal Church, and of course, the Satanic Temple, Idaho. These are all Unity Spiritual Center of North Idaho. These are all the institutions that are affirming you in your personal truth, whatever alphabet letter represents you, whether it's LGBTQIA+, and know that you are affirming, along with all these others, pride. And this pride is the unity of all these people in their individual truths, being loved by whatever it is they worship, whether it's a god or it's not a god, or there is no God, or whether it's Satan, whatever it is. And we will have drag performers, one after another, and we will even have a drag dance for those who want to really enter into this communal worship under the banner of pride. This is in the spring of 2022. I'm so amazed that Christians and Buddhists and even Satanists have finally found unity. Those who proclaim the name of Christ, rabbis who reject Christ, Buddhists who reject the idea of a God, and even Satan himself, those who worship Satan himself, they all have finally come to a truth they can all uphold together. Wow.